Jack Brewer, founder of the Jack Brewer Foundation and former NFL player. Jack, we've seen the video. Now, some of it is we have cell phone cameras, for sure. But
right.
When you were growing up, do you remember seeing these types of wildings by kids across the country, covered in any newscast? Do you remember any of it?
No, it's unimaginable. You know what? But when I grew up, the majority of us had dads in our homes. We had dads that would whoop our butts. We got disciplined. We had coaches and mentors and teachers that actually disciplined us and not just pacified us. And we're seeing a pacified generation. You know, Laura, we are watching the results of a fatherless nation. We have 24.1 million fatherless kids across America. These kids that you see out there running in the streets, tearing up the streets, are fatherless kids. And this is not an issue that we're going to be able to just fix with a new policy or with a new initiative or any other woke agenda. We have a real systematic issue right now in our country, and the crisis is called fatherlessness. And if we don't do something about the way that we approach our education system is being overrun by fatherless kids. Our prison and criminal justice system is being overrun by fatherless kids. If you look at the high school dropouts, you have over 71% of them are fatherless. If you look at Chicago, we're talking about Illinois. They have 60 schools in Illinois where not a single kid is proficient in reading and math. What do you expect them to do? They're going to take over the streets. They're unruly, and there's no one willing to sit back and put discipline in the schools. They need to bring the paddle back in these schools, and parents need to be held accountable for the actions of their children.
Well, I have friends that are teachers in the District of Columbia, Jack, and these are young people who are, offering to teach. They could be doing other things, but they're teaching. Some of it with Teach for America and other programs. And the stories they tell me are just like you want to just get on your hands and knees and start bawling. Kids who have nobody coming to pick them up, kids who have nobody coming for parent-teacher conferences. And that story is repeated over and over.
I see it every day. We run at the Jack Brewer Foundation. We run after-school programs, mentorship programs. We run programs in the prisons, in the juveniles. I see it every day. These kids don't have parents. And that's why I advocate for this so hard. Like, American fathers, we got to get out of our bubble. We got to go into our communities and actually help mentor kids that are not our own. We have a crisis that's going to overrun our country if we don't do something about it. The poor teachers, we're giving teachers kids that we don't want to raise. We're giving them the trouble of America. We're telling the teachers in the public schools, go out and help raise these kids. But they don't get the support that they need from home, and parents aren't even held accountable. If you're an SRO officer right now in the United States of America, they pulled your authority from you. You can't even make sure a kid gets suspended. You can't take a kid to jail for really having violent crimes. You're giving these third, fourth, fifth chances. And I'm all for second chances. I advocate for them. But you have to have disciplinary action when people need to be disciplined. And we use the mental health, too much. If someone has a mental health issue that causes them to harm another human being, they need to be rehabilitated in jail or prison. Those are the places that we need to have for rehabilitation, not continuing to let people back out on the streets.
Now, Jack, this is a scenario that is just going to continue to repeat itself if we don't deal with the core problems. You are 100% correct, and we continue to pray as well for reawakening. Jack, thank you.